Inside now turns, lay in, missed again. To the right side, missed a wide open layup, and they call a jump ball. That will go to the Cats again. We've had more jump balls this half along with fouls I think I've seen in a basketball game in a long time.
I think we've had more jump balls than fouls.
45 seconds. I don't know. We got close to 25 fouls. Lauren DeLeon along two, misses off the right side of the backboard. Just another rush short.
Supporting the backboard.
You can tell Coach Timmons is not happy with the way the Cats are performing here in the first half. The first half of this one. Especially here in the second quarter. They've only scored 3 points. It was 12-7 when we ended the first period. Now it's 24-10. 29 seconds to go until half. Let's see what the Vikings do. They go to Minor inside, and she turns and lays it right in for 2. 26-10, 20 seconds on the clock. A dominating performance here in the first half by Addison Minor.
Yeah, and Minor, the ETSU volleyball commit, is just that much bigger and that much stronger than anybody in our paint.
He had 16 last night against Crockett, and she's trying to build off that again tonight. Maya Lee with it. She turns it over, trying to get it to DeLeon. Fast break here, 2 seconds on the clock. Long two taken, but missed long as Michaela Richards tried to come up with the 2. And now Coach Timmons and the Cats will head into half, and they'll have some work to do. 26-10, the score in favor of the Tennessee High Vikings. Again, that quarter brought to you by State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll have stats, and also Dr. Keith Perrigan will be joining us here in just a moment. We'll get Mark over here to tally up our stats and come join us after we talk to Dr. Perrigan. He's circling around here in his Under Armour sweatshirt, so we'll get him on here in just a second. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back. 26-10, Cats trail at half.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School athletics.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Can't get enough Bearcat athletics? Make sure you check out Bearcat Sports Chat during the winter season. Dates include November 27th, December 11th, January 11th, and February 1st. All shows start at 6:30 from Buffalo Wild Wings at Exit 5 in Bristol. Schedule subject to change. Go Cats! Welcome back to the Bearcat Halftime Report. Dylan Hutton along with Bristol Virginia City Schools. Let me add that part in.
That's right.
Superintendent Dr. Keith Perrigan. Well, thank you for joining us, Dr.
Hey,
Perrigan.
thanks for having me tonight,
This
Dylan.
seems familiar. We did a lot at PH like
we
this.
We did this.
I don't think we've done radio, though. We've done some video stuff.
We did some video stuff, and you certainly spent a lot of time in my office when I was principal.
That's right.
There.
I was in trouble.
That's right. Absolutely.
So you have some big news to tell everybody.
Sure. Well, we hope that we get to tell some big news. We're currently in the process of having some public hearings, and we're talking about consolidating 3 of our oldest elementary schools with the hope that we'll be building a brand new elementary school in the fall of opening it up in the fall of 2020. So it's a real exciting time here in the city, but certainly we've got a lot of questions we have to answer for the folks in the public who have some concerns, and so we're going around the city. We've already had 2 public hearings, and we've got a couple more coming up later in the month.
So what have been some of the what led to this, the idea of this coming to fruition?
Sure. So we have the newest school that we have here in the city of Bristol is Van Pelt Elementary. It was built in 1974.
Just a few years ago.
Just a few years ago. A lot of good things were built in the 70s, but kind of like me, I was built at that same time. It's time for at least to have a remodel done there at Van Pelt. But the other 3 elementary schools were built respectively Highland View in 1938, Stonewall Jackson in 1948, and Washington Lee was built in 1968. And so they've got a lot of structural issues. We've had an outside consultant come in, and they've looked at all of our buildings, and they said that Highland View is functionally obsolete. And so, its end of days are coming real soon. Of course, every school closes at some point in time. There's several schools that you drive around the city now. You'll see Thomas Jefferson and the old George Washington School. Virginia High at some point, it will actually close. We're not anywhere close to talking about that. But this building itself will, it'll be out of date at some point in time. And that's where we are with 3 of our elementary schools. Unfortunately, the timing is not great because, we're still dealing with some financial difficulties here in the city. But we found a private-public partnership opportunity that we have that opens up some really unique financing opportunities for us. So we're just really excited about it.
It's definitely an exciting prospect. So what's the thought process of taking 3 elementary schools and merging them all into one? What's the sizing going to be like?
Sure. So the 3 schools that we're talking about, 2 of them are less than 200 students, and the other is just above 200. And so we're looking at building a school somewhere in the range of 600. Hopefully it's a little bigger than that, 650, so we have some room for growth. But, a lot of factors determine that. We know what size, how many students we need to take care of. However, budget constraints could certainly play a big part of that.
So you've worked city schools, county school systems as a principal. You've been, of course, at Patrick Henry. What's the real difference in working for each one?
Well, the biggest difference between working in a city like Bristol or Norton, where I came from just right before this, and a county like Washington County, in Norton, John I. Burton was the center of everything. Here in Bristol, Virginia High School is the center of everything. But in Washington County, you've got 4 high schools, and so resources are spread out, allegiances are spread out. But, that's the thing that I really like most probably about working right here in Bristol. Everybody's a Bearcat.
You can put orange and black on.
That's right. Don't have to worry one bit about it.
So it is exciting, and you're thinking about broadcasting one of the talks.
Sure. So this is a generational decision. This isn't just a decision that'll be made by the current school board that we have sitting now, those 5 gentlemen. But the decision that we make, it will last, like I say, Highland View is 80 years old this year. So 80 years from now, people could be benefiting or not from the decision that's made. So we're taking it very seriously. We want to get a lot of input from the public. We've had great input at our 2 public hearings so far. But we know that everybody can't work their schedules around to come to the dates that we have. And so even though if we broadcast this, they won't be able to give us feedback, they certainly can become educated about it. And, just because we're not having a public hearing a certain day doesn't mean that they can't pick up the phone and give me a call, shoot me an email, and give me their input in that fashion.
Yeah, definitely. You want to get it right, and you want to hear everybody's opinion on something that big.
If you leave it just to one person or a group of 5 people to make a decision like this, I promise you there's going to be mistakes that are made. So the more input that we can get from the public, the better off that we're going to be as we move forward with this project.
So you've had a couple of hearings already. How have they been received so far?
So far, really, really well. We've had good attendance at both of the public hearings. So, some of the concerns that they brought up we were already very well aware of, but some of the concerns they brought up we were like, oh yeah, we need to think about that as we move forward. So a lot of the concerns are very locationally based right now. It's very hard to argue that a 1938 building is not the best facility to get students ready for 21st century jobs. So that part of the public hearing, I think everybody's in agreement. However, where we put the school and what we do with the schools that will be closing down, those are certainly very real concerns, as they should be for folks that live in those communities.
Yeah, you don't want that many empty, big places either, do you?
No, nothing good happens in big, empty buildings, without a doubt.
That's true. So 26-10, Tennessee High leading the Lady Vikings right now, leading over the Lady Cats, and hopefully you changed our luck here. Hopefully we can get a little offense.
Well, hopefully, we've had a little trouble the first half putting it in the basket. We've had some good looks, and it's just not falling for us.
Yeah, lots of easy lay-in looks just have rattled out or just have come up short or been partially blocked.
Well, I think we'll get it together the second half.
I hope so. So you want to tell them the dates on those hearings?
Yes, absolutely. So January 17th and 18th, We'll be at Washington Lee Elementary in Stonewall Jackson, and we hope I'm going to run this by our school board at our school board meeting on Monday night and see what they think about broadcasting it. And so very possibly we could be on the air.
On here, yeah.
Right here on Spreaker.com/Bearcat Radio.
That's it. We'll try to have Dr. Perigin leading the broadcast.
That's right. I won't be nearly as entertaining as Dylan, but hopefully it'll be very informative, and folks in the community can learn a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, and I wish you the best of luck on that,
right.
Dr. Perigin. I
Thanks
hope you come back and visit us.
And you and Mark are doing a great job,
Well,
and we appreciate you getting our sports news out to the public.
Well, thank you for giving us the call there the week before the battle game. We
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Perigin.
Thank you.
That was Superintendent Dr. Perigin of Bristol City Schools. We'll get Mark back over here as we get set to start the second half of it. Let's get Mark back here and get our stats for us real quick here from the first half. 26-10, the Cats trailing the Lady Vikings as Coach Timmons and the Lady Cats back out on the floor. Let's get Mark here fixed up. He's got his headset all. Yeah, Dr. Perigin had it on the other side there and sort of confused him. All right, Mark's back with us now. Can you give us some stats, Mark?
I'll give you some kind. My goodness, my headset's everywhere.
We'll get you. You've been down there eating too many hot dogs, evidently, right?
So right now, our leading scorer, of course, is Taylor Owen. She has 5 points. De Leon follows behind that with 2. But Taylor Owen, she's been the force of the game so far for the Bearcats, leading the team in rebounds and also in points. She's got to have another big half. They've got to slow down. They've got to be able to get their focus and regain composure here in the second half.
Talking about a Lady Cats team that was outscored 14-3 there in that second period as Tennessee High will control it to open the second half. They have a 16-point lead. Looking for somebody to get open. They finally get somebody, but Jada Campbell comes up with a turnover. Lay in, left hand, got it. 26-12, opening turnovers. The Cats have ramped up the pressure, and they get another steal. Amaya Lee inside. Owens lay in, got it. Back to back, there's 4 points on one side of the court. Now the Vikings can't even get the ball inbounded at all, hardly. Hatcher comes up with it, but a near steal as Amaya Lee pokes it out of bounds. It'll stay with Tennessee High, but they're everywhere right now.
Now this is the quickness that you've seen Virginia High play with all year. Great job by Jada Campbell to open the half the right way.
Cut it back to a 12-point game. So in the opening 30 seconds, 4 points for the Cats. Minor with the ball, left wing. It's that starting 5 out on the floor for Tennessee High and also for Virginia High. Again, fouls are going to be an issue. We have a lot of them. There's a long 3 taken left wing, and it's sunk. Michaela Richards got it.
Just not long enough.
29-14. So right after you get 4, you give up a 3 on that end. De Leon with it. Lost her dribble, another turnover. Vikings try to get it going, and they turn it over. Bailey comes up with it and throws it in. From the right side of the basket, lay in good. 29-16, Cats pressuring everywhere right now. As Vikings just trying to get it down the floor. There's a drive, a right hand lay in, missed, but a foul inside.
Taylor Owens second if it's on her.
And it is. First foul of the second half.
And this is exactly what you need if you're Virginia High. Come out here, own the quarter. You gotta let them know that you're still here, you're still hanging around, and they've definitely done that so far.
First free throw missed short. As they'll make a substitution, De Leon is out on the floor. She is subbed out for Sidnor. Second free throw missed. Owens with the board. Campbell had it, tossed it out to Sidnor. He drove right to the center, but lost it. Lost her dribble and turned it over. Richards with the ball now as the Vikings look for a lane on the other end on the right side of the court here at the Bearcat Den. Little floater from the top. Missed, but a good board on the long rebound, and they'll keep possession. Foul inside as they got it to Minor. She missed, but with the foul on Taylor Owens, that's her third. Seems like all these fouls are coming in duos. One of them occurs, a girl will get a foul, and then the next time down the floor, another one, it'll be on her again.
It just seems to flow.
Free throw from Minor, good, and it's 30-16. So after that 4-point swing to start the half, the Cats haven't scored anything. They've given the 4 back. So 4-4 the scoring right now through the opening minute and a half. Second free throw good. 5 points in the second.